Hey guys on YouTube, 206 Analysis, and I'm very disappointed of the card of UFC 143 and the decision of the main event, but I'll get to that later. All right, let me pull up the card. 43. I went 2-3 in predictions. I'm just gonna say I thought Diaz won the fight. Uh, he says he retired. He retired. I just heard it right now that he retired. He's saying that he's going to retire. But I think it's just a stupid fucking decision. Not him retiring, just this decision. This decision was a utmost horrible decision. I don't care what anyone thinks. Just because Condit maybe land more, you don't score points consistently from backing up and then running. That's not a fighter. That's not a win. He didn't win that fight. He didn't stand and bang. He didn't prove that he won. He ran. All right. Ed Herman versus Clifford Starks. Starks was doing pretty well in the first round. He won the first round in my book. I thought Ed Herman was going to get stopped, but Ed Herman came from back in the second round and got him with the rear naked choke. And yep. Now Renan Bar, I can't ever say his name. It's Scott Jorgensen. The funny thing is that Scott Jorgensen looked twice as I don't know if it, I think it probably is a skin pigment disorder. Uh, or it's just him not getting any sun, but he was just extremely pale. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything. I don't know. I'm thinking it's his pigment, but he looked very pale tonight. I'm just gonna say that he got his ass kicked, and I'll say that. That's the one thing I'll have to say. He got the shit kicked out of him. He got murdered by Barrow's combinations. Scott kept continuously would go in and throw a punch and stop and wait for the next punch. He had an odd combination. He hasn't really perfected on his boxing, and he was getting just hit with that 1-2. Two punch combinations by Barrow, and Barrow got the unanimous decision 30-27 on all three judges' scorecards. All right, now to the grudge match. Not really a grudge match, but a match that people thought really didn't appreciate that much. Fans didn't really appreciate it, which I didn't. I really disrespected that. If you're an MMA fan, understand is that when you get two grapplers, they're patient. Unlike the main event, they're two strikers. So you're gonna have something. You're gonna see them getting hit. MMA isn't boxing. It's not kickboxing. It's straight up mixed martial arts. You're seeing different arts. You're seeing grapplers. You're seeing strikers. You're seeing general. People that use both. You just have to be patient with the sport of mixed martial arts. It's how the sport was founded. Learn to be patient. Don't just judge it's going to be a big war. So I actually was entertained. I thought Pierce won the fight. I predicted Josh Koscheck to win via decision, but I thought Pierce did. He impressed me, even though I did forget to mention in my prediction video that he does have success. I thought he did pretty well against Hendricks, and he did okay in the end of the fight with John Fitch. But I think that Pierce definitely won this fight. He surprised Josh Koscheck with his striking. His continuous strikes to the head. It's those kind of strikes where you don't really have much. You don't really. How can I explain this? Never mind that. It'll take a little bit for me to explain. So Josh Koscheck lost the fight, or Josh Koscheck wins via split decision. I don't agree with the decision. I really don't agree with many decisions tonight. Now to the heavyweight bout. Roy Nelson versus Fabricio Verdum. Verdum really, really gave Roy Nelson a beating. Roy Nelson did catch Verdum a couple times, but Roy Nelson looked just beat up, bloodied. His nose got just I thought he actually broke his nose from from the first knee that hit him in the from the first knee that Verdum gave him to the directly to the forehead right here. I thought he broke his nose. He didn't. I don't know if he has yet, but Roy Nelson did get a bad beat down from basically from first round on. He didn't. He was really, really. having some trouble. Definitely, he was having trouble with some. He was having some trouble with the with the size advantage. Size advantage seems to be a problem with Roy Nelson. Unlike Stefan Struve, which Stefan Struve has problems with guys that know how to strike. It's insane. Except his fight with Barry. That's an exception. No, not really. Joking. So Roy Nelson didn't have success. Verdum, he came back. I wasn't really expecting him to do this well with his Muay Thai. His Thai proved very effective. Proved that he was able to keep Roy Nelson at bay, and Roy Nelson kept coming. So Roy Nelson basically kept getting beat up. So Verdum won the decision won the decision 30-27 on all three scorecards. All right, now to the interim welterweight championship fight. A fight that I was very disappointed in. I was not. I was, I was disappointed hearing about Carlos Condit's game plan about, sticking and moving. Just move, strike and move. This fight was promoted to be a war. This fight was promoted to be was just a bit considered a brawl. And we see these guys we see Condit really just moving away. Of course, I can see where Condit's coming from. Of course, like everyone who follows the sport passionately could see where this guy's coming from. He really wants to secure the win, and he knows banging with, no homo, but basically banging with Nick Diaz is a big risk. Diaz has that power, that really weird power, that really weird boxing where he really doesn't, he'll continuously hit you with those shots and doesn't give you time to breathe, which causes many men to really just not be able to take it. Sometimes they don't get knocked out. They just sit there and just let it keep happening because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what to do because being so much pressured is that they can't focus. And that was Nick Diaz's past opponents before this fight, and Carlos Condit had to run the whole fight. This is what would happen. I gave Nick Diaz a win because of the way he controlled the whole action. He controlled the pace. He was the one who controlled the pace in this fight. He landed a lot more significant shots, and also he was the man who took it to the ground. Give him that, man. You got to give him that. All right, Nick Diaz took him to the ground in the late minutes of the 5th round, got his back. And that's getting a guy's back is fucking big. That's big in points. Big in grappling tournaments and big in MMA, both. And Nick Diaz didn't get the decision. And listen to the scorecards were the utmost blasphemy. 49-46 to 2 scorecards and 48-47. I seriously cannot believe this. Nick Diaz won this fight fair and square. He landed significant shots. He didn't run. He controlled the action. He basically stayed in that little smaller octagon inside the octagon. He controlled the center, just the complete center. Condit stayed on the outside. Condit was running. All he did was once he get to the fence, he just move out and run all the way across the ring. And then he'd do his little puss striking, and then he'd do the little puss striking, and then basically this process repeats. So I'm very disappointed. I could go on for half hour maybe on how this fight pisses me off. But I don't want to waste you guys' time. Disappointed. Event and fight. Judges need to be fired. Go back to boxing, or not really, but go back to a sport where running is tolerable. All right. Peace out.